Hello, welcome to Tech Oneself. Today is Sunday, 27th of July of the year 2025. We might remember and celebrate for the days where we still didn't know if we had freedom of expression or if we would be censored. And it's a holy day of the week, so I normally don't talk on a Sunday, but I would love to share how important it is to have your space to encounter that which flows from within. You like to it's like making braids. There are a lot of transits that you can they're like an imaginary sense of explaining where there are strings. It's like a string of light you can hold on in the middle of darkness. I have been in a very raw, dark situations which haven't reached my writing in order to visualize and express from these sources and bring them to characters and be able to transform what I didn't know what was going, because you cannot see what is going to happen. You have not prepared for such things, and a little bit of a little bit of when there is nothing at all where you can hold on to or ever hope or have faith, not even a memory to make you stand up again. To know that goodness exists and you can hold on to that string of light and know that exists even though you have had the evidence and the mistakes from everyone. It's not a deception, but natural catastrophes happen. And people lose their minds, people lose their hearts, people would simply do anything to hold on to anything. And people still believe in sacrifices and sacrificing other people, sacrificing even to sacrifice oneself. And we are coming to live with so much abundance. We have so much abundance, like just to be in the right place where the fisherman is bringing extra fish and a cave where you have enough heat in the winter by the nature that's like a womb that refreshes you naturally when it's so hot in the summer. You have resources to move on and learn for free and listen to music for free as well. But people are still learning what is this freedom of expression and manipulating powers and values. So, addiction is something that everyone has in order to live, but there has not been thought to us from an early age what is to be hungry for spirituality, because maybe we were there already, And we crave to be able to know and express that which we know from unknown resources. We can learn that in school and see how everyone has grown to be apart. But when we were children, we would have wished to also help people who had less resources, but we end up being in a labyrinth of information going nowhere but to what we already have, not being able to reach out as we wish. And like us, there are billions of people in this world. When we come to see the importance of taking care of oneself and at the same time living on an environment which is full of piranhas pretending to be humans, we cannot create together in harmony. We do can create in harmony in a state of perfection and paradise where there's no judgment, because those things flow by themselves. You don't need to explain that. Whatever is for who and who, whatever they are, all that becomes to an adjective that is being modified around you to form your character and adds to you. It adds to you. So every Sunday we come to celebrate God and put our most beautiful garnets. We would do our hair and we learn to be grateful to all that, which means a higher power, which, which is with your family, with your mother and father, with those who give you the work to do, and especially for those who like to worship and come together with a sense of spirituality in a town, in a village, in a neighborhood. To be able to maintain that every day and night, it takes a lot of devotion to keep oneself straight. I wish that monks and nuns would be able to role play where the scenes happen in first person so they can understand the real meaning of holiness. It's too much work in the world for just a few. It's unbearable unless people start to experience and transform with their own. But if you gotta do it in first person, even if you don't have any problems, to dress in that. My mother is alive and she's deteriorating with Alzheimer. And I have done many meditations with her where she reminds me of the state of just remaining present as an observer. or that where the mind is no more. So I have chosen to be alone in meditation and live a life of prayer through my work, not just for my behalf, but for the generation of my children and the children of my children, and so on. I know my mother would be proud of me and everything she's done for me. Her spiritual name means love offered to God. It's very meaningful when your mother has also chosen to be named in that way. The name of my grandmother was Presentation. That means when apparition of Virgin Mary or the apparition of Jesus, because it has presented. It doesn't matter if it comes from the Sanskrit or the Catholic Church, those are spiritual connotations of consciousness and taking oneself to work, or that is beyond oneself, if possible. It's maybe my drug to be alone in silence. I grew up and lived with a lot of dancing and celebration and people gathering to find silence together. It was not easy when my father was murdered. It was the only time I've seen my mother in a different way. I was an adult and quite grown up to understand that it was not her, but for her to have seen what happened to my father, the love of her life, and expressing all these things I've never heard before in a sort of madness, because it's very violent to treat another person in this way. So there are many people that believe to have the right to take the life of others away. And something that should be beautiful when we die. It should be with consciousness and acceptance, because we are ready to enter into a culmination of our life, feeling grateful that we are giving our last breath through everything we lived with joy and gratitude. You're giving your last breath to your family for everything you're giving. I was giving to you. Some people come in your life and go. There is not much for us to see that we can hold something together anymore. We're letting go. And watching that repeats again and again. Whatever we do or not is happening. We cannot control it. It's very easy to be, just to be, just to be. There have been many masters and prophets. There have been beautiful artists trying to transmit a message and holding to what is relevant in order for their work to be shared to greater amounts of people with the same symbols and meaning. And there's a beautiful truth through it as well, where we all relate through. It's impressive how people want something they cannot have. It is found over time, and we do have limited time on earth to ask whatever there to think we can have everything at the same time. And why? What for? It should be a beautiful form of sharing with one another and enjoy every step of the way. For those who are in the front line of the public domain, it's different because sometimes need to be a little sensational and exaggerate. And there is freedom of expression, so you can share any t-shirt you want and with your beloveds as you wish as well. People are free to buy the t-shirt or not, or believe in that or not. So whatsoever we do in with our deepest beliefs, whatever is gold, what we feel that is being transmitted through is something worthy to share when it comes to love one another. Whatever is from the distance or from being close to one another. Why we circuit the same places? How is it taking care? Do we care? We take care to select those words for one another and be present for one another truthfully and fully. We seem to be listening, and at the same time, it's not about how much noise we will do, so we start to live in the paradise that we love to live as children. We are living in a bubble, and then this paradise fades away. We're facing another world with maturity, and it takes a lot of time to understand the important the importance of facing these realities if we are going to manage values, if we are going to be constructive or creative or artistic. So we question ourselves and make a list of priorities, family members, people. We will go on and on and on, proving to the world who we are, what relations we have, and trust those who are working with us or for us to do their role. And there is given time to consider what benefits. As a company, a corporation, a body that's working together, is this my culture? Is this the philosophy of my brand? I don't understand how would I live without this silence, peacefulness. It has to be related with the divine. You know, you make food with the silence, you walk with the silence, you listen to the priest with the silence, you open your senses with this profound divinity and belief for the rest of your life. You're going to do it with this peacefulness. It has an order of itself, and it's beautiful. I've seen many people change for good. Uh, you must always see that they are doing it by their own. You respect their space. Whatever you give to them or tell them, it's not the show to prove in their own right, but from their own space, from their own understanding. You want to belong. Russia wants to belong to a world technological map. China too. There's Africa and South America, of course. So when I think about tech oneself, we're really talking about a field that's united, not just through technology and technicians. It's another translation and form of thinking to say it's through tactical, technical consciousness. I only believe that there's an exercise to practice what we're doing with consciousness. So we reach each other with more respect and prepared. We're just jumping into conclusions because that's the old way, and that's how we have made it. When we have so much talent in the world to listen and talk in a pleasant manner for those who invest to discern what is it going to be better for the future generations in their own name as a greater brand, then you will own it. That is the beauty of ownership. So yes, there are problems. There are problems online. There are conspiracy theories. There have been always people that hate the rich. The insults, the hatred is incredible. These are the people who murdered my father, and he was not really very rich. He just had a little more great education of his own that he invested on as a thinker and writer. And he had a priest who would teach him to write as well in Spain. And my family was very proud of him because he had four sisters and he was the only boy and he was the little boy. So he was very spoiled. Not only that, he had the name of Arturo after his father, which is a very special name. The Spanish know the stories of King Arthur. In Spain, we had the Cid, who was a myth on a historical memory, which was not a myth, but many know that he was a mercenary and he would just give his side to the strongest and twist if it was convenient. And that's the way he helped to unite parts of Spain in the north. So we honor these characters. We honor our fathers, our grandfathers. We honor the word, the value of the word that's given to us, and how we express or wish to share expression. I myself love to go crazy and study madness for characters. Find a little bit of laughter in there. I don't like watching movies, really. We don't normally watch movies. We just take the profiles of the character more or less. Just get to study the story and the character. To invest more on creating the domain, coding the colors, studying what others are doing as well, unless you want to do monologues. So monologue is unidimensional. And we have our sisters, we have our brothers. They're not going to understand us. There are a lot of thirsty people looking for answers, wanted to belong, sharing within. There's nothing that one has. To come directly into harmony with this reality, just simply say, when doubts arise, not to. That was said by some master. Just open the book. It explains here that this is one of the oldest mantras. Whenever doubts arise, whenever you feel divided, whenever you see that a duality is coming into being, simply say inside, not to. But say it with awareness. Don't repeat it in a mechanical way. That's very correct for tech oneself when we're speaking about oneness. So, well, I'm going to remodel this place. I was waiting to move upstairs, which is bigger and more costly, and today the landlord said finally it has been rented. So I don't have much privacy in this place because the wall is very thin and I can hear the neighbors, and I have a window right here where anyone could just come and interrupt. So I will see you later, and I hope you have a good day and feel welcome to this journey where we're just going to travel and see what is it that we're doing with ourselves as one, and technologically speaking, for the world, in the world we were born, is human nature and how we treat each other at work, and with the technologies that are emerging in this generation as well, so we can help each other in the fastest way with the less possible problems. So I really wish for all these cookies to end, please, and so you can see the market in the technological globe. Bye.